is it wrong to keep a bank account that your partner doesn't know about? I came across this post recently and thought it was an interesting topic to explore. So here it is. It says, my husband works and I am a stay-at-home mom. He's the most unselfish person I know. I handle all the finances and he has never said or acted like it was his money, it's our money. So that's a healthy relationship there. Anyway, he is upset with me because he found out that I had a bank account he knew nothing about. I've been making money online and keeping it from him. He says that his problem is not that I've been making money online, so that's a good sign, but that I kept it from him in the event of a divorce someday. So that was her rationale of keeping it from him. He said that women keeping a stash of hidden money in case the marriage fails is like a man keeping a side chick in case the marriage fails, and we both need to be all in or nothing. My mom raised me to have a secret stash that my husband doesn't know about. Is this wrong? Is my husband right? So yeah, there are many layers to this post or this question, and we are going to explore them one by one. First of all, let's get the most important point across. Women should never feel inferior or made to feel inferior just because they chose to be stay-home moms. I grew up in a family where my dad worked and my mom took care of my brothers and I was lucky enough that my dad never used my mom's lack of income against her. The Chinese have a saying that goes 一个养家,一个顾家, which loosely translates to one builds the house and one takes care of the house, which is beautiful because it implies that both roles are equally important and that you should treat each other as equals in building the family. And luckily for this lady over here, she has never been made to feel inferior, and that is a green flag for the guy. The conflict came when she kept her own stash of money, or rather she did not let her husband know about it. Let's first take a look at her point of view. Her rationale was that her mom brought her up that way, that women should always have a secret stash of money in case the marriage fails. Plus, it was her own money that she made. It's not like she took part of her husband's income for her personal stash. Her mom probably had her own private stash of money that her dad didn't know about, which is why she brought up her daughter that way. So is it important to have a private stash of money in the event the marriage fails? I would say yes and no, because she hasn't been working and I think would probably find it difficult to get a job because she has been out of the workforce for so long. So keeping a private stash of money gives her the insurance in the event that she cannot find a job or she takes longer than expected to find a job. Or, for her to build her online business even more. Which makes sense, right? You want to be prepared for anything that can happen in life as much as you don't want it to happen. Plus, the whole point of having a secret stash was for it to be secret, right? So in her mind, she probably didn't plan to have this conversation with her husband, or she was afraid of how her husband would react if the topic came up. Which brings us to her husband's point of view. He was angry because number one, his wife was keeping her own private stash of money when 100% of his income went to the family. And number two, his wife explained that the money was for the event of a divorce, as unlikely as it may seem to be. In his words, keeping a private stash of money in the event the marriage fails is like a man keeping a side chick in the event the marriage fails as well. And I completely agree with that. He was 100% into the marriage and he viewed his wife's private stash of money as a sign that she wasn't 100% into it. And I say sign because I do feel that his wife is 100% into the relationship. The way she is talking about the topic, the way she is describing her husband and his reactions to it, it does sound like she is committed to the marriage. The main issue was that both parties had different reactions to the same private stash of money. The husband views it as a lack of commitment to the marriage, The wife views it as something perfectly normal because she was brought up this way. Now, it's not wrong for a stay-at-home mom to feel insecure about money, especially in a world where almost everything revolves around it. And I think it's not wrong as well for the husband to feel angry about it. And this is not me trying to be politically correct by saying, oh, you know, both sides are not wrong. But in this case, both sides are really not in the wrong. The first step of resolving this, I would say, is accepting that this is a case of two different people having two different opinions about the same thing. It's like this picture of two people on opposite ends of this number and calling a different one. Differences in opinions are perfectly normal. In fact, it is expected in any relationship. And now that the secret stash is no longer secret, it should be time to explore whether she should keep it or not. Of course, different couples will have different opinions about this topic, but I feel that in most cases, the root cause of having a secret stash comes from the insecurity about not earning an income. If having that private stash helps with the insecurity, why not? It's like if you lead a very healthy lifestyle, you run every day, you eat healthily, you still buy some form of insurance in the case that you get a critical illness or you die too early. So having that insurance, be it figuratively or literally, doesn't mean that you plan to fail. It means that you can cope better in the event that whatever you fear will happen, happens. So should you have your own private stash of money? I think only you can decide for yourself. One thing I do encourage is to discuss this with your partner. Talk not just about having a private stash of money, but why you want it. I met a couple recently that started talking about this topic because both of their parents, or rather all four of them, had their own private stashes of money. When I encouraged them to talk about why they wanted their own private stash of money, is it because of the insecurity, or is it because their parents did it so they wanted to do it as well, etc, etc, they dropped the whole idea of having private stashes completely because they really couldn't find any strong enough reason to do it. So yeah, whatever works for others might not work for you. So yeah, as cliche as it might sound, communication is key. I honestly didn't plan to talk about this topic for that long, but hey, I hope it has been helpful for you. I know I haven't been posting for quite some time, and I do plan to post more videos this year, so I look forward to your support. Thanks for watching to the end of this video, sending you lots of love. See you in the next one.